It's Ash from SuperVideos back for another live stream Q&A video. This is going to be Q&A number 155. We'll wait a few minutes for people to show up here. Giuseppe Rosa has already joined. I always look forward to these. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Same as me. One thing though, for today's Q&A, it's going to be a little shorter, just half an hour. And then we're going to take like half an hour break and then jump into the live stream gameplay of Telltale's The Walking Dead for season 1. The rest of it we've been playing. I think we're on episode 3. So we'll do half an hour Q&A and then jump into that after that. But you can always ask questions in the gameplay live stream as well. So, you know, for people that have questions still, they can ask there as well. And also, I'll leave a link in the description. Wrong thing. There we go. So this is a poll that we're doing. It's related to the Rick movies. In terms of the title of it, I want to know everyone's predictions and thoughts and opinions on that. So go to the poll and participate and vote for your favorite title. If you don't see your title or a title that you like there, write it in the comment box in the poll as well as, you know, in this live stream as well, and the chat, wherever you want. Giuseppe Rosa, can you rank the seasons of the game when you finish it? Yes, absolutely. I'm on season 1 so far, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna do a ranking after I'm done. Season 1's been good. It's been slow paced a little bit some points, but overall I like where it's going. Some parts of it I think could have been tweaked a little bit in terms of the story, but overall I am enjoying it, and I'll definitely do a ranking after I'm done. Let's move this back a little bit. And as always, let me know if there's any issues with the stream, the quality, the audio, anything like that. Giuseppe Rosa, way better than Fear. Let me just turn off my thing here. I think it's off. Because I heard something coming from there, that's why. Yeah, the story of the Telltale's games, parts of it is definitely way better than Fear. But parts of it, you can definitely see where, you know, the story could have been improved a little bit. But I agree in terms of being a game, it's much more exciting than some seasons of Fear the Walking Dead have been so far. I'll give you that one. Giuseppe Rosa, I was thinking of buying the seasons of Fear on DVD, but I don't want to trash, or I don't want trash in my room. That's funny. Yeah, I don't get the Blu-rays for Fear, just The Walking Dead. And Walking Dead, I select only the ones that I absolutely enjoy. I have season 6 on Blu-ray. I'm getting season 9 on Blu-ray too. Right now, my favorite season is season 9. Season 6 is very close as well. It's been season 6 for a long time, and in a way, I'm happy that it's changed. That just shows that the show, I'm still enjoying the show. Negan's Mayo Sandwich says, hi, how are you? Glad you could join. Again, for those of you that don't know, go to the poll. The link is in the chat and in the description. You can participate on the poll that we have. It's related to the Rick movie title. Let me see if there's any change. No, it's still, we are at 14 votes so far. I want to do a follow-up video on that, but I want to get more kind of opinions and results on there. Giuseppe Rosa, can we send super chats? I think so. You can just click the icon here, I believe. Thank you very much, though. And the other thing I do want to say about Fear the Walking Dead season 5 specifically is one thing that I've been enjoying for Fear the Walking Dead season 5 based on the promotional stuff is that it's actually not enjoying. I better say it this way. It's one of two things. One, they are hiding a lot of the actual content of the story from the trailers and the teasers, and it seems like the story is very basic, but there's a lot more to it, which I'm looking forward to, because that just means that there are things that they're not showing us, but it's there. Or the other side of it is that there's nothing there, and it's as simple as the trailers make it out to be. I hope that's not the case, because that in a way takes away from the excitement of the season. I hope it's the first, that they're hiding a lot of the interesting stuff from the trailers, which they should do. That's what they should always do in anything, not just Walking Dead, but in anything. Official do a to Nepal. Too many viewers shows how much of a loser you are. Thank you, I appreciate that. Even you showing up just shows that you have no life, that you're just showing up to say that comment. But anyway, I'm just gonna move past that. Giuseppe Rosa, will Rick survive till the end? Which medium? On the comic book, I don't think so. I think it's the end for him in the comics. But in the show, I think in the movies, he's going to go for 3 movies. But then after that, it's up in the air. But I don't think he's coming back to the show. But will he survive till the end? I don't think so. I don't think that, based on the comics, if they're going with the comics, I don't think there's much story left, because they're going to have to conclude his story the same way they do in the comic book. Not sure what happened to the chat. Did it freeze? No, okay, we're good. I thought it was frozen for a sec. Because on the, what is it called? On the stream, there's this thing, elapsed time, which tells you how much time you've gone on the stream, and it was frozen. It's good now, but I don't know what happened. Maybe the stream froze for a sec or something. We're good now. Giuseppe Rosa, we don't allow trolls in here. That's fine. Don't worry about it, Giuseppe. You don't need to block them or anything or time them out. Let trolls just come in. But if there's any spoilers, or if there's any inappropriate comments, definitely do time them out or even block them based on what they do. Negan's Made Sandwich. I read an article saying that Angela Kang said that Negan will have a lot of interesting story going forward in season 10, saying they're using his comic source material story and some things for TV. Yeah, that's always been my prediction as well, that they're gonna have Negan's comic story come to life in one way or another. But they are gonna add in a lot more interesting stuff to his story that I am absolutely looking forward to it. The thing is, though, with Negan, in the comics, at this point in the story, he wasn't a prominent character in the story, which was okay, because we had a lot of other characters. We still had Rick, we had Carl, we had this, we had that. And we had Jesus, like, we had a lot of great characters that would fill that void. However, in the TV show, if we look at it, in season 10, most likely Michonne is going to leave, Maggie is gone, Carl is dead, Rick is gone, Jesus is dead. So there's a lot of great important characters that are missing. And if you don't give Negan enough story, not even not have him in this story, like even if you just have him and not give him a story, that's gonna for fans, they're going to be wanting something because all of the other stories and characters are missing. You know what I mean? So I think having Negan there and giving him a great story in season 10 will definitely make us enjoy season 10, even if we're not seeing a lot of our favorite characters. Giuseppe Rosa, will Rick survive till the end? I think I answered that. I think in the comics, I don't think he's going to make it. In the TV show, if they're following his comic storyline, then he's probably going to die somewhere in the movies. Most likely the third one, the final one. But if they're going to have a completely different story for him in the TV adaptation than the comic version, then they might do some interesting stuff with him even after the third movie. Not necessarily saying that he's going to come back to the TV show. That probably won't happen, but we might see something along the lines of him coming in and leaving certain parts of the story in both Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead. And in a way, he might be like guest starring on everything going forward. Not necessarily staying in anything, but coming back and leaving again. Even the original show, he might come back, but he's not going to stay there for long, I don't think. Negan's meal sandwich, and I think they foreshadowed it when they said, Michonne, you cut through the territory. When he said the word cut, I think it foreshadowed him killing Alpha. Yeah, I think so. I know what you're saying. In the final episode of season 9, when Negan and Michonne were talking, Negan said, so you cut through their territory? That's ballsy or something like that. And they emphasized cut. I think that's what you're referring to, and I absolutely agree with you. That's foreshadowing. Not only that, but earlier on in the second half of season 9, when we had Negan escaping, he had this sack. Remember that? It had food inside, and it had bloodstains on it. That sack looks very similar to the sack that he used in the comics to carry someone's head. You know what I mean? Now, not gonna go in too much detail there because people might not have read that, but I think that's another foreshadowing of that. But then again, I think Carol is an important part of Alpha's final episodes as well, or final storyline. I think we're gonna see something along the lines of a merge or a combination of stories and a combination of or a remix, that's what I'm going to say, a remixed way of moving forward Alpha storyline that's going to have Negan at one end of it and also Carol at the other end of it. I think there is going to be a showdown between those three characters, and I still stand by that prediction. I've made that prediction a long time ago, like a couple months ago. I still stand by that prediction. Too sick for you. Hi, how are you? Glad you could join. Negan's my sandwich, and I think Gage will be the TV show Brandon, where he lets Negan out, then Negan kills him at the border, then runs into Beta. I absolutely agree. I don't see why they would introduce that character and not kill him if they weren't going to do anything with him later on. I completely agree with you on that. Too sick for you, bro. Earth is flat. Whatever makes you happy, man. Giuseppe Rosa, Andrew Lincoln is a great actor. I wish he was in more movies. Yeah, absolutely. I hope that we see something interesting with Rick and unique with Rick in the movies. I hope it's not a recycled Rick. You know what I mean? I hope we see something, another dimension, another characteristic of Rick that we've not seen before in the TV show or the comic book. Giuseppe Rosa, I don't think Alpha will be better than Negan. I already think Alpha and the Whispers are better than Negan and the Saviors in general. I believe that right now. Specifically, Negan versus Alpha, it's very close. But in general, Alpha and the Whispers versus Negan and Saviors, I think they did a way better job fleshing out and bringing out this group to the TV show version from the comics than they did with the Saviors and Negan. Giuseppe Rosa, I miss the days when the group was on the road. Absolutely. I miss those days too. Those were the simple days. But then again, how much story can you really tell with that small story or group? Giuseppe Rosa, which superhero could Andrew Lincoln play as? I don't really see him being a good superhero necessarily. But if I had to choose one, I would say Batman. And I know the internet has been going crazy over Robert Pattinson being chosen for Batman. I don't agree with it. Let's just say that. I didn't even agree with Ben Affleck as Batman. I think a Batman should be, or it should be someone that can do that character justice. And I don't think Ben Affleck did do the character justice. And I don't think Robert Pattinson can do that. I could be wrong, but Giuseppe Rosa, I think Norman Reedus could play as Ghost Rider. Absolutely. Was that the one Nicolas Cage played at one point? Negan's my sandwich. I also think Negan will kill Alpha and get his comic fight with Beta where he reunites with Lucille and breaks it over his back. I think we probably will see that. I'm leaning more towards that as well. But I do think that we're going to see more stories with Negan. And his story is not going to be filtered down to just his story with the Whispers, or his connection to the Whispers, and his final send-off. You know what I mean? I think there's going to be a bit more to it than that. One other thing I do want to mention, for those of you that are on the chat or on our live right now or watching later as well, make sure if you're a subscriber, make sure you go and check that you're still subscribed, because I've been keep getting this where YouTube automatically for some reason is unsubscribing users for whatever reason. So if you are a subscriber, make sure you go and check that you're still subscribed, because if you're not subscribed, then there's a chance that you won't get any of the notifications or any of the kind of activity on the community. And also, as well as being subscribed, make sure you go and check that you still have pressed the bell button. Go to the YouTube homepage or my YouTube page and press the bell button, because if you press it, then you'll be notified right away when we put videos on or when we go live. Again, for whatever reason, even if you have pressed it before, YouTube automatically unpresses it for you or whatever they do. So make sure you go back and check to make sure that's happening. Also, if you're not a subscriber, if you enjoy the content, make sure you go and subscribe, and also press the bell button to stay on top of the videos that we upload on the channel. Giuseppe Rosa, too sick for you, get a life, bro. Yeah, I don't know what he wants exactly. There was 2 of the trolls today, which is fine. I mean, they have nothing better to do. That's fine. Negan's mayo sandwich. I hope we get the line from the comics where Negan says, "Leather jacket for the win" when he fights Beta. Yeah, there's a lot of great Negan lines from his conversation with Beta that I absolutely hope they do. If they don't, it'll be a missed opportunity, because some of it is made for Jeffrey Dean Morgan to say. Like, I could or not always, but I could already hear it in my head. Jeffrey Dean Morgan saying those lines. So I hope that they still do it and they don't skip it. Giuseppe Rosa, I love Rick's murder jacket. Yeah, I hope who has it. Imagine, it'll be insane if in season 10 we see someone wearing Rick's Rick's murder jacket. That'll be insane. That'll be funny. It'll be cheesy, I agree, but it'll be funny. I hope it's not some unknown. I hope it's someone that's big. I don't know if it's too cheesy for Daryl to do it, or even Negan. But if Carl was alive, that would have been great, but Carl is dead. So I hope someone wears it, someone that makes sense. Giuseppe Rosa, how would season 5 Rick deal with Negan? I think he would be less conscious of the aftermath and the consequences than he was than season 6 or season 6 and 7 Rick was. But I think once Negan did what he did when he was introduced, no matter which Rick we're looking at, it would be the same outcome. He would kneel basically in front of Negan at that point in time. But before that, I think he would have been more just go for it, not think about the consequence necessarily. The Rick from season 5 than the later on Rick. Negan's mayo sandwich. I also hope Negan gets his old leather jacket back. The new one ain't as good. Yeah, I hope so. I don't know if it's still around. If it is, I hope he gets it back. Giuseppe Rosa, I was thinking about this the other day, but they could have used Morales for Fear the Walking Dead, and it would have been interesting. Morales had potential. Yeah, and to be honest, when they said there's going to be one character crossing over from The Walking Dead to the Fear the Walking Dead the first time, before it was revealed that it was Morgan, I was absolutely fine with it being Morales. I was like, yeah, sure, let's do that. It's not going to impact the original show. That character had a lot of fans. A lot of people wanted him back. Let's bring him back in Fear. Let's see what he can do. And also, the other aspect of it was, like I said, the actor was great. The character was somewhat interesting. And he had a lot of fans. So bringing him back to Fear the Walking Dead could have been a lot better than what they did with Morgan. Giuseppe Rosa, is it me or is Negan skinnier? He's skinnier, but it makes sense. Because he's been in a cell for 6-7 years. And I don't think they feed him as good as they feed the people outside the cell. Negan's mayo sandwich, where do you think they did with his leather jacket after all that war? I don't know. I think that's interesting. I don't know what they would have done with it. I don't think anyone would have cared that much about the leather jacket. It's just a leather jacket that's around. I don't think, like, it's not like Lucille, where it's like, that's Negan's Lucille. What are we going to do with it? It was like, that's his jacket. So let's leave it, or let's burn it, or let's whatever. I don't think it would have mattered that much, as much as the Lucille would have, or Lucille would have. Giuseppe Rosa, nobody ever thought it would be Morgan. Yeah, absolutely. I was shocked, stupid. I'm like, this makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. We are 28 minutes in. We'll go for another 5 minutes, and that'll be the end of the stream. But we will be back in half an hour after that to do the live stream gameplay of a continuation of Telltale's The Walking Dead for Season 1. We're on episode 3, I believe. So we're going to continue that after this stream in like 35-40 minutes. So we're going to take 5 minutes of this stream, continue the stream, the Q&A, and then we're going to end it. We're going to take a break a little bit for half an hour, and then I'm going to be back for the live stream gameplay. Giuseppe Rosa, who's the most intimidating villain? It was Negan for a long time, but it's Alpha at this point. Giuseppe Rosa, Morgan, and I'm talking about the TV show. Giuseppe Rosa, Morgan should have stayed in the original Walking Dead. Absolutely. I think that would have done both shows good. A lot more good than bad. For Fear, what did Morgan really achieve by being in Fear? Nothing much, right? Like, he didn't push the story in a new direction. If he wasn't there, the story would have still gone a similar direction. You know what I mean? Negan's mayo sandwich, I think the leather jacket is in Michonne's house. It could be. It could be there with Lucille. We just don't know. But again, I don't think it's as important as Lucille. The leather jacket, the whereabouts of the leather jacket, I don't think is as important as Lucille itself. Giuseppe Rosa, I think Negan is scarier in the show than the comics. I think it's the other way around. I think Negan in the comics was a lot more sadistic in a way than his TV show version. His TV show version, and maybe it's because of the portrayal of the character, Jeffrey Dean Morgan brings out a lot more dimensions and characteristics out of Negan, and we sympathize with him sometimes. You know what I mean? Even at this point, or even at the beginning, we kind of did a little bit. So I think I don't agree with you. I think it's the other way around for me, but it's a preference thing. I think it's preference. I'm not saying you're wrong or that I'm wrong or right or whatever, but I think it just depends on. Yeah, it just depends on who you are. Giuseppe Rosa Morgan is a season 1 character. Yes, he is. I think other than Rick, he might be the second main character we saw, if I'm not wrong. Giuseppe Rosa, I hope they don't bring that stupid pink character. Princess? Yeah, I don't think Princess works in the TV show. They're gonna have to remix her a lot. Princess, I think that's her name. What was her actual name? I don't know her name, but it was Princess. Princess something. We'll go for another like 4 minutes, and that'll be the end of the stream. Again, in half an hour after our break, we're going to take half an hour break. After that, we're going to come back to the live stream gameplay of Telltale's The Walking Dead Season 1. A continuation. We're on episode 3, I think. Giuseppe Rosa, I would really, or it's really sick. Wait, it's really Rick, Daryl, Carol, and Morgan that are still alive from Season 1. Yeah, it's kind of crazy if you think about it, but yeah. And in a way, Morgan is in Fear. Rick is in the movies. It's just Carol and Daryl, if you really think about it. Negan's made a sandwich. Do you think Daryl will take Rick's part, where Negan and Rick have a heart-to-heart conversation in a van, surrounded by walkers during the Whisper War? I think so. I think that makes the most sense, if they even do it, because they already did a remixed version of that between Father Gabriel and Rick, and Negan. Not Rick, and Negan. There's a possibility they might not even do it. But if they do it, then yeah, Daryl and Negan makes a lot more sense. I don't know why I keep saying Rick. Giuseppe Rosa, the princess, is a horrible character. When I saw her, I'm like, WCF is this? Or the F is this? She had some good parts in the story, but overall, yeah, it's a weak character, I think. Giuseppe Rosa, will Morgan ever come back? Probably not. I doubt it at this point. I hope so. I want it, but I doubt it. Alright, we will be back in half an hour for our live stream gameplay. Thank you everyone who joined and asked questions and participated. I appreciate it. I appreciate Giuseppe Rosa and Negan's Made Sandwich for holding it down, because it was just you two on the chat today. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. I will be back in half an hour for the live stream gameplay.